Raj Roy and writer, director, and actor James Franco.
Wow, this is really cool. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions about Isabella Rossellini, because it looks like somebody left their notes from the last
yeah. Sure.
It's funny. It's great to be back. I wasn't nervous about this at all. We have friends in common, we've met in the past, I'm a big fan, know your work well. Until I heard that James Lipton was in the audience. Now I am scared shitless. Yeah, we could do that. Does it still give you a thrill to be with your public? Has it ever given you a thrill?
Yeah, I love being with DVDs.
Well, it's actually a leading question because, I was thinking about your films, looking at them again, and both as an actor and a director. And it struck me that a lot of the characters that you've either created or as an actor or created as a director are in isolation. And I'm wondering, is that something that you're conscious of, or?
That's interesting. Well, certainly the three short films that I've made at NYU are about characters in isolation or alienated characters. And then in 127 Hours, yeah, he's isolated, but not necessarily because of his, I guess his personality would drive him to, climb mountains, but, he has friends, that kind of thing. No, I love people. I like being in cities. I don't live out in the middle of nowhere. I am happier when I'm around people. I suppose I did spend a lot of time alone when I was younger, and probably some of that experience has relayed into my films. But
yeah, I mean, that's something I also remarked is while the characters may be in isolation, they almost seem complicit, certainly in the case of 127 Hours. I mean, he's the one who goes out into the wild on his own, and it's fulfilling for him. And in a way, the characters almost seem enamored of their outsider status. And in a way, I guess I'm trying to bring it around to also your career trajectory, which has not always taken the path of, a straightforward mainstream leading man, or for that matter, mainstream director. So what's the interest, what's the attraction of being intentional outsider for these characters?
That's what you're supposed to do as a creative person, I think, because it's the movie that you should do, and that was a real huge dead end for me. And so I have come to see the only way that my career as an actor or a filmmaker can work is if I'm doing movies that interest me, and what interests me is, looking for new things, I guess.
It seems like some of your, in my opinion,
yeah.
That character is delved into it. Is it something you can share? Or is it purely an individualistic kind of thing about going to that new place? Have you found a community that can kind of help guide you there?
I think it's different things. I guess I see the character in 127 Hours as not similar to the characters that in the films that I've made. So the character in 127 Hours, one thing I think Danny Boyle has always tried to make clear about the movie is, yeah, he's in isolation, but it's a movie about community. The thing that really is motivating this will for survival is just as much a need to reconnect with his family and the loved ones and the strength of those connections as it is, just the heroic will he had, to do what he did. But the characters in the, the three shorts that I've made, Jay Ann and I was and is my teacher at NYU, and my directing teacher, and one of the things about school is I see it as a similar kind of my relationship to the teachers that I look up to is similar to my relationship to directors I look up to as when I'm working with them as an actor. As an actor, your performance can be enhanced. People can pull things out of you that normally wouldn't come out if you turn yourself over to a great director. And it's the same thing with a great teacher. Jay was that teacher for me at NYU. And so the films I made there under Jay are all based on poems. They're based. The central characters are all isolated or alienated or have a secret, and I think that's very different than Aaron Ralston. I think they're isolated while being in the midst of a community. Aaron is a guy that seeks, challenges out in nature, and unless he has to go and do that alone, I guess. But I think those are two very, very different things. Trying a new thing, an action stoner comedy. That is taking a genre and doing something new with it, and really trying something new. And they had a hard time getting that thing set up because it doesn't follow into regular formulas. I'm basically talking about movies that that I don't find are challenging anything in any way or providing me with a new challenge for myself as a performer.
So, for example, coming up, you'll be maintaining, I'm assuming you're studying and your work with directing at the same time of being in the new Planet of the Apes film.
So with that movie, I got to work with all the guys from Weta and Andrew Lesnie, the guy who shot Lord of the Rings, and Andy Serkis, who played Gollum in Lord of the Rings. And as an actor, well, first of all, I am unashamed to say that I was obsessed with those Lord of the Rings movies as a child. He is amazing. He, I think, is very driven by challenging himself. And so with 127 hours, one of the things that I think drew him to the story is not just the story itself, but the actual the challenge to him as a filmmaker to make a movie about a guy trapped in one place entertaining. And because not only does he like to challenge himself, he likes to entertain people. And so to work with somebody that is doing both of those things is very exhilarating. You are discovering things on set. You are working with equipment that people have never used before. You are, just experimenting, and he makes you a collaborator. So as a performer, it's the best situation you can ask for.
For a while?
I've been wondering about that about you.
Why?
She's casting.
Yeah, I'm casting. I made Dig. I don't know if you ever saw it.
Yeah.
That's my movie. And then I made We Live in Public about the internet. Anyway.
Dig. Yeah, I love Dig.
Yeah.
It's not about Maplethorpe though.
No, but it's about artists. And
Yeah.
I'm
Great.
make a
It's
film
great
about-
documentary. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna make a film about Robert Mapplethorpe. So I was just curious.
Oh,
And I also went to Yale, and I read that you went to Yale. Or you
I'm
were
there
at
now.
Yale.
Yeah. So
What
I'm your
college?
man. Yeah, I'll play Maplethorpe.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. I want to let you know it's the movie, and James has to go introduce it. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.